All right, good evening, guys. Ken of Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for December 3rd, 2024. So I want to just draw your attention to a few things. The first one is the announcement on the coaching program for next year. So we're adding a passive coaching program in which you are kind of a silent observer. And this is a much reduced price. So while we have a number of cohorts where we've got guys working in small groups on their particular trading strategies, that's an intensive weekly cohort designed to optimize individual trading systems and support individual research in a small group setting. What we're going to do is add like a silent observation deck out here where you can overwatch and basically watch the recordings of all those live coaching sessions. And because we've got 4 different cohorts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, some of them are looking at day trades, some are looking at swing trades, some are looking at position trades, and some are looking at advanced hybrid trading where they're looking at all 4 of those. So you get a chance to witness right now over 200 hours of live coaching from this year, plus another set of 20 extra lessons that were kind of like the high payoff things that have emerged from those coaching programs. And you can do that for $1,000 and get 500 days of access to all those 200 hours of coaching and 20 extra lessons, plus whatever you're going to get in another couple hundred hours of those coaching programs for the year 2025. So you get about 500 days for 1,000. If you're interested in the active coaching where you're working on a weekly basis in your small group for accountability and mutual research, that's at $24.97 for a year's worth of 52 coaching sessions with me and your small group. But you get to watch that if you're interested in the passive coaching program for 1,000. That would be appropriate, like if you're not sure which of our systems to use and you want to investigate a bunch of different ways, you could learn from that very nicely. You're not going to get individual coaching. I will give you like a monthly check-in for Q&As or something, but you're not going to get the full up intensive coaching experience. But it's a pretty good deal while you're learning to adapt our systems. Now, those prices are in effect until 1 January. On 1 January 2025, those prices are going up. If you get those prices now, those are your prices for life. Once we lock in lifetime pricing. So that's the link on the daily report that you can see, or send me an email or contact me at Tortoise Capital. You can send me an email if you can't access that link to longke at yahoo.com, and I'll get you squared away with the coaching program. That's the best deal that we have for getting on board at the lowest price and having the widest access to the hard work that we're doing in the community practice. Now, why might you be interested in that? Well, because the guys in the coaching program, we have been working Palantir and the 2x leveraged exchange traded note PTIR, which is a double leverage. We've been working that one since October, and we began our buying here on this breakout from the consolidation zone. Standard entry at 40. We added a position at 60. We added a position at 90. We added a position today at 115. We took a bunch of profit today at 120. And on a $4 risk, that move from 40 to 120 is plus 80 on a $4 risk. That's a 20R win on this position, and that's about a 15R win here. So you're talking over 50R in 3 months on a single position, and it's above. It made an all-time new high today, so that could keep going. That's not the only story stock that we've been working either. We've also been intensely managing Tesla, Cliff, and NVIDIA with very satisfying results. So the coaching guys get the advantage of some of that intense work. Like tonight in the coaching session, we looked really hard at opportunities in EWZ, which is at a 5-to-1 reward to risk ratio on a swing trade. Pretty interesting stuff. So anyway, you might be interested in the coaching program for that reason, because if you had been just being coached along with us since October, that one trade would have more than paid for the annual coaching program. And again, this is the summary of 2 ways to participate: annual active coaching, 52 weeks, personal research in a focused small group at $24.97. The silent observation, you have access to the 200 hours of live coaching of 4 different cohorts, and you get all the future weekly recordings going forward. And if you sign up before 1 January, you're going to get 500 days of access to all that information, and it's all downloadable. And you're getting it for the price of $365. Price goes up on January 1st, and you'll get 365 days of access going forward. So now would be between now and the end of the year is pretty good time if you're thinking about pulling the trigger. It's a pretty good time to do it. This would be the best price you'll ever get. So let's jump into some just trades of the day. So this was Palantir today on a 3-minute chart, story stock. So here was the opening range, 3 minutes. Here's the OR3 breakout. There's our standard risk box. That's about a 50-cent risk. And it runs off like a scalded ape. We take the PSAR exit. 1, 2, 3, 4R trade right out the gate. We get a COTA 2 reentry when it crosses the VWAP again. Pick up another R, give back a half, pick up 2 more R. So that's about a 7R day in our focus stock, Palantir, which is also a swing trade for us. So that's an example of core and turbo, which is what we teach. And there's lessons in that, in the extra lessons in the coaching program archives there. And there are thousands of case studies in there for you to study. So this is pretty good stuff. There were no charts posted in the chat room for coaching because we handled those in the coaching session. But the 150-day look back for the S&P made an all-time high today. You can see how far it's pulled away from the 150-day VWAP, the 30-day, the 10-day, the 5-day, and the 3-day. Our standard markup. The 30-day look. These 2 awful quiet days in a row, right near that all-time high, resting right comfortably on the 3-day VWAP, 5-day, the 10-day, the Bollinger Band mean, and the 30-day VWAP. So this little buying opportunity has kind of consolidated at the same place as predicted by the previous RL10 excursion. So we're going to be watching that pretty carefully as what is it going to do when it comes out of the yellow zone. The yellow zone you should not be trading in tomorrow because it's so narrow, but you can play a breakout in either direction with the standard trade frame template that we teach. Dashboard 1, we're in bullish quiet, strongly overbought. We're well outside of the dragon or the river now, I should say. Risk Z is favorable for upside volatility. Some big breakouts today in Walmart, Palantir, and Apple. Just three symbols testing out well on the auto framer: DuPont, NVIDIA, and ExxonMobil. So NVIDIA is definitely on my short list. It's still at 4.6 to 1, an amazing value. And today was an up day. So if NVIDIA continues tomorrow, it's going to be second day momentum, and that will be the highest payoff trade, highest focus trade of the day. The Qs had a big breakout today. Tech Rage, Japan, Euro-Asian, emerging markets all did pretty well as well. Standard templating for daily squeezes and the auto framer. You know how to use that. These above the red line from the TC2000 printout, those are the symbols that test out better than 2 to 1. Added a couple new columns today for you. On this one, the range divided by the range stat tells you what the relative size of the breakout was. So something that's at 0.5 means it was half of a range stat move. What's interesting is that the S&P was the most relative quiet of any of those symbols. It had only a 0.29 on its index, meaning it was an extraordinarily quiet day. It was the quietest of any symbol in my standard stack. That's a market that's quietly waiting to break out. We'll see which way. Dominated by the summer and spring and the four seasons. Standard winners up here on the frog list for the excellent intraday trading: marijuana, Intel, Tesla, clean energy, Palantir, NVIDIA, the usual suspects. And let's see, the market stats here on the RL10. This is all pointing to very favorable upside continuation with the RL90, the RL30. The only one that's of interest is the RL10 is starting to stall. So a short-term pullback would not be unusual, but the longer-term strength of the market definitely gives us an upside bias, and we'll be ready for that melt up. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted and be ready for them tomorrow. Take good care.